Hey, it's Dr. Noah from Back to Chiropractic. I'm going to go over just a few things about auto accidents or car accident injuries and how the insurance works in the state of Minnesota here. So the first thing I want to cover is how important it is to get checked out after an auto accident. I just had a patient in that contributed their headaches and their neck pain to an accident that happened 3 years ago. And the issue with that is that now they have to pay for their care and they have to build their major medical policy, in which this case they had a really high deductible, which means that they're going to pay a lot of money for their care at the chiropractor, even though the issue originated from an auto accident where the auto accident medical policy should have covered their initial care, and this could have all been prevented. Years of pain prevented, and now a lot of the money that they're going to have to spend prevented. So first thing I want you to understand is that there's personal injury protection in the state of Minnesota, and that's what we call PIP insurance. And so a lot of people know that when you get in a car accident, the car is going to be covered, and any damages to the car are going to be covered by the insurance policy. You pay a deductible, and then your car gets fixed, or your car's totaled and you get paid some kind of sum of money for what the car is worth. Well, the same thing is true for your body. Anything that's wrong with your body, they are responsible to pay and cover your medical bills to get you back to the pre-accident condition. So a lot of people think that if you get T-boned really hard and you break your neck, that's what they're going to cover. They're also going to cover things like soreness, sprain and strains. They're going to cover chiropractic care, and they're going to cover things like even massage, physical therapy, and any kind of imaging that you may need. So I always encourage people, if you get in a car accident and you feel any level of soreness or even just want to get checked out, be proactive about it. Because when it gets down to 3 years down the road or even a couple months down the road and the claim's closed, there's nothing else we can do, and now you're on the hook for your care. So let me explain a couple things here. I have here the skull, the neck, the mid-back, and then the low back here on my diagram. And so when a whiplash injury occurs where the head whips forward and then also whips back, what happens is that there's a lot of strain up along the posterior side of the spine, the back side of the spine, and then there's a big compression that happens when that neck goes back to all the spinal joints. And so what takes place there is I have my model spine here where I have the vertebral bodies there that are the squares, and then on the back side I have my drawing of the posterior elements, and that's where the spinal cord runs through, is right through here. And at each level of the spine there's a nerve that comes out of the spine, that's called the spinal nerve. And so you can see here that all these are in line except for this bottom one. And as you know, with your seatbelt on, your neck and your head are free to move, which can cause a lot of spraining and straining to the neck. But the low back, because of the seatbelt system we have, causes a shift or glide forward and back very quickly at impact. So what this can usually happen is this can shift forward in your low back, but then it can also shift back once the impact is done. So this can cause a locking or a shift in what we call in chiropractic a subluxation, and that can really compress the joint, that can compress the nerve, and that can start to wear down the disc that's in between the vertebral bodies, right? In between the spinal segments. And this wouldn't be a big deal as if there wasn't a nerve coming out here, okay? Because you can see that on the top level, there's half of that circle is made for that nerve to come through, and on the bottom level, half that space is for that nerve to come through. And so when those are misaligned, even just a little bit of compression, we know, based off a study coming from the University of Colorado, says that even just the weight of a dime or a nickel can start to cut off between 30 and 60% of the communication between the brain and the body using that spinal nerve. So we want 100% of the communication from the brain going down to the body, so that not only can you heal faster, but you can decrease things like pain, the inflammation, that your brain can have better communication down to your body. So that's why I recommend that every single person that's in any type of auto accident get checked out by a good chiropractor, go through a full set of orthopedic tests, range of motion, get any imaging that's required so that we know for sure that you're not going to have issues years down the road or even months down the road that you're going to be on the hook for paying for. Once again, I'm Dr. Noah Halloran. I'm here in Chanhassen, and if you're not in my area but you would like to get checked by a good chiropractor, I have a network of chiropractors throughout the whole country, so please reach out to me if you want a good referral to a chiropractor that can take care of your auto case.